Hello Learning Birds, this is Mr. Buffington, and in this lesson about Microsoft Excel spreadsheets, we're going to show some of the math that these spreadsheets are capable of doing, which is really fun and neat and helps to save a lot of time. So, as you see here, I have some numbers listed with operations above them: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And what I'm going to do is show you those four basic functions and or four basic operations and how to type them into an Excel spreadsheet. To have an Excel spreadsheet with operations, you have to first start out by typing the equal sign. If I just write 20 plus 5, it's not going to work. But if I write the equal sign and then 20 plus 5, it will give me the answer 25. All right, the number appears down here. All of what I actually typed in there will appear up here at the top. Okay, so I can do subtraction, multiplication, and division. The limitation of writing 20 plus 5 is that if something changes up here, now my answer is incorrect. So there's a way that we can actually say, instead of saying 20 plus 5, we can say it's going to equal this cell plus this one. Then whatever value is in here and here will be added up. If I change this to 30, it's 30 plus 5, and the answer automatically changes at the bottom. All right, so we're going to use that for actually typing in our operations. This one here, we're going to say equal sign, and then I click up here, C2, that's the column and the row, C2, minus this cell right here, C3. And then if I hit enter, it will say 20 minus 5 is equal to 15. Again, any of these values we change will give us a new number down here. When we're multiplying, we also always start with that equal sign. And this time I'm going to type it in, D2. And to say multiplication, you actually do the asterisk symbol, which is Shift 8. So D2 times D3. Notice I typed it in and it works perfectly fine too. You don't have to be clicking on the cells. And this one here is division, so I'm going to use equals E2 divided by, and the symbol for divided by is that / E3. So that's the basics of the four major operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now there are a couple other neat tools and shortcuts that you can do inside of a spreadsheet. Let's go ahead and look at, you know what, we're going to do this one here first. This is operation. We're going to find the average of these people's grades. And the shortcut you can do to do that is to say equals, always start with that equals sign, average. And you notice all of these different things appearing. These are different shortcuts that are built into Microsoft Excel to help you to do operations and equations and functions and things like that. So there it is. It equals the average of. Now when you're doing an average of numbers or a list of numbers, you have to have this as well. An open parenthesis to say where you're going to select. So you can select several different individual numbers, or you can click the mouse and drag it to cover the entire area of what you're doing. And then you do a close parenthesis at the end, and it'll automatically calculate the average. So that's the mean, adding up the numbers and dividing by the number of numbers. It's finding the mathematical average or the mean of this list of numbers right there. I want to show you one other tool that you can use inside of here, one other shortcut, and that's called the sum. The sum is adding up a list of numbers. So if I want to find the sum, I would say equals sum, and then I have that open parenthesis, and then I'm going to add up this list of numbers here, have my closed parenthesis, and hit enter. So Jim has a green, red, blue, and yellow marbles. He has a total of 22 marbles. Now let's say I want to figure out how many marbles Jill has, and Fred, and Jane, and Dilbert, and then the total of marbles that they have. Well, I can do all of that really simply by doing what we call a fill. So what I'm going to do is highlight the one I'm starting with that has my equation in it. Then I'm going to highlight sideways and say fill, again inside the Home tab, fill right. Now what it's done is, this one here is a sum of everything inside of column C. This one's a sum of the things inside of column D, column E, column F, etc. And then for our total, we can say the sum of all of those added up. And now anything that changes inside here will reflect that change in the individual's total and in our total at the end, our grand total. So I hope that lesson's been helpful for you on some shortcuts inside of Excel. Have a wonderful day.